Yo, YouTube, reacting to captive held captive as a as a pet from age 9 to Jesus Christ 10 years. Fusako Sano and I tried, man. Nah, I don't know how to say that name. Okay.
Find the girl, or even any clues related
Wait,
to her
why am I 20 seconds in already?
A
Rewind.
9-year-old fourth-grade girl in elementary school went missing after watching a baseball game in her hometown, Sanjo, in the Niigata Prefecture in Japan. Despite a massive search party, the police were unable to find the girl, or even any clues related
Yo,
to
10 years? Holy shit!
It got to the point where they even began to expect that she was one of a growing number of girls kidnapped by North Korean operatives. The truth was, after heading home that day, she was ambushed by a strange man.
Jeez, for sure guilty. I mean, come on, bro. Call that double chin. I bet ironic coming from me. It's a bit ironic coming from me. But I mean, come on, bald head, the glasses. Also might be a bit about. Hold on now. Hold on. Nah, J. I don't look like it. I look good though. I look good fat though. No, that's not a good thing though. Like, lose the fat, you fat fuck. What's wrong with me? Nah, let me not say that. Because, you know, it's not healthy, baby. I'm pausing too much, you see? I'm chatting now.
Into the trunk of his car. She was then held in the upstairs apartment at the man's mother's home for over 9 years straight, never stepping foot outside, despite the house being only a short walk from the nearest police station.
Hold on, the mom just never realized mom was a part of this. What's going on here? Where's the mom? Where's the mom in this situation?
I'm sure you've come to see that safety is extremely important.
Agreed. Is this where an ad comes in?
Well, I can offer you some security.
Okay. WI, shout my man's out. Nah, let me get an X, baby. Let me get an X.
More so than usual. This is somewhat of a sequel to the Junko Furuta video. The cases were pretty often compared in the Japanese media, and I think.
Wait, what's he talking about? I skipped it.
Check the description below.
You know what? Fuck a W search? Nah, let me not. Yeah, maybe it could be though.
Let me start off by saying this case is very dark. More so than usual.
Really?
This is somewhat of a sequel to the Junko Furuta video.
I watched another video a while ago now, a couple weeks ago now. It's about a girl who was kidnapped. It wasn't really that. Okay, it was dark. It wasn't like nothing crazy though. So
cases were pretty often compared in the Japanese media.
I don't know if I'm interested to hear about this now.
See why later on.
Okay.
Given that, I just want to give out a little warning. This one gets bad too.
Well, you heard it first. Warning for you people back home. For the one person who's back home watching this.
Feel free to click off to another video. But if you're prepared, let's get started.
Yes, sir.
Fusako Sano had been kidnapped by a very mentally ill man named Nobuyuki Sato, then 28 years old and unemployed. Sato was born in 1962 to a father who was a chauffeur to a wealthy client.
How the fuck you turn out like that when your father looked like this? Pause. That's a crazy pause. But come on, damn, your father look okay. Pause. You know, like you're not ugly, like but you're like your bald ass.
That father had 5 kids with another mother, but ended up outliving her and then married Sato's mother afterwards. His father was 62 while his mother was 36.
Don't believe a ready-to-eat meal can pack flavor and nutrition?
Holy shit, a 38 difference, goddamn!
His father had built a new home for Sato and his mother, which included a large Western-style room on the 2nd floor, which was to be his nursery.
Well, don't tell me that motherfucker had a kid at 60?
This cozy room for one child would end up being a complete living hell for another. Sato, when getting into middle school, eventually told his mother that he was too scared to go to school. He was taken to a mental health facility and diagnosed as having germophobia, among other things.
Germophobia? Holy shit.
His phobia got so intense that he would threaten to disown his father if he ever came home with the slightest amount of dirt on him. In high school, although being quite
don't threaten me with a good time, buddy. Get the fuck out of her.
He was very soft-spoken, often being called
do it then,
by
bitch.
other kids, which is a word that basically translates as a slur against gay or trans people. He withdrew into himself and took his anger home with him, often venting and taking his frustrations out on his family.
I'm not gonna lie, if you don't slap this little shit, man,
afterwards, he went to work at an automobile parts factory, but his eccentricities often got him into trouble.
What a germophobia dude work at I feel like that's just germs to be all over the
There was
place.
a public urination case, for one, and another time he retreated back home on his way to work, his excuse being that he got caught in a spider web. So eventually he left that job and stopped working entirely. It's safe to say that by this point in his life, he was already pretty gone.
Yeah.
At age 19, he got into an argument with his mother, claiming he was leaving home for good. He set
Like I
fire
said, dude,
to a
that does this with a good
Boots-Walter
time, man.
home, which spiraled out of control into a huge house fire. He
Oh,
was
wow.
taken in for another mental examination, and it was determined that he had a severe case of OCD. After about a month of intense medication and supervision, he was released.
I just saw a
After
picture of
that
the
point,
father.
he spent most of his time betting on horse races and obsessing over idols. Eventually, he told his mother that it was time he started becoming independent and expressed his interest in building an addition onto their house. She complied, and a new room was added to the second floor of the home, giving him
Okay,
somewhat
looks like
of his
he's a
own
builder, I
apartment
guess.
up there. But the room was given up
About
on
to build their home
mid-construction.
looking at.
Sato kept fussing over the construction crew bringing germs into the home, and he also failed to keep many of his promises, including looking for a job. It was at this
always
point
the
that
jobless
Sato
ones,
went
man.
from being a regular piece of shit to a criminal piece of shit. In June of
No, I knew I fucked with you,
1989,
man.
he ended up waiting outside of an elementary school gate and shadowing 4 young girls as they walked out of the schools of shit. In June of 1989, he ended up waiting outside of an elementary school gate and shadowing 4 young girls as they walked out of the school, all around 9 years old. He ended up tailing
did
one
what now?
until she came close to a vacant lot, when he then dragged her into said lot and attempted to have his way with her.
Oh, what am I hearing? What? Oh, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
The girl ended up witnessing him taking her off into the lot and ran off to tell some older
Oh,
students.
W girl.
An office worker from the school then showed up and captured Sato. The police were called, and he was arrested on charges of an attempted indecent act.
How the fuck
2
did he?
months after this, his father would pass away, likely
that-
in complete shame over
Rest in peace, father, man. Rest in peace, his dad. You know what, man? He didn't deserve that. Last thing he know about his son is that he just try to do like what's the word he said in decent. Do what that dude said to an elementary school girl. Jesus. Come on, man. That's not what we do here, baby. That is not what we do here.
his son had become.
Yeah.
In September, he was sentenced to a 1-year suspended sentence as a result. The court
Oh wait, hold on.
decided that his
What?
chances of reoffending were low, and in lieu of probation, decided to release him to his mother's custody, on the condition that she look after him and
You what? I know I'm passing crazy right now, but are you hearing what he's saying? He got released after 1 year. Not only that, this motherfucker got probation. This dude went to jail for attempting to, I'm not gonna say the word, but an elementary school girl. The only reason he didn't do it is because he didn't realize it was bad. No, it's because he got caught. He was about to do it. And you gave him 1 year in prison? And then you let him out? What?
and as
Man, I don't give a fuck if he has, some sort of disease. No. Ew. Give that motherfucker the book. Should electrocute his ass. What?
though this didn't work out.
Yeah, no fucking
While
shit.
still on his suspended sentence, Sato took his mother's car and went out for a drive on November
Oh, why is my screen black? Oh no, I'm bugging.
13th of 1990. He
Look, I was
drove
looking
around
at that,
for
okay.
a couple of hours until he ended up spotting a young girl that piqued his interest, Fusako Sano, at around 5 p.m. It was unplanned, as far as we know. Upon seeing the little girl walking around by herself, he made the decision to kidnap her. He parked the car in front of her and got out brandishing a knife, making his way closer to her.
Wait,
told her to be
what?
good and
For some, wait, hold on. Let me.
herself,
I know if that's crazy, but
he parked the
huh?
car in front of her
Hold
and
on.
got out brandishing.
For some reason, there's a about this case. Huh? Hold on. Now I gotta switch this up. Now I'm even trying to be weird. Tell me people made up. Who made? Yo, who the fuck made this? You can buy this shit? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, you know what? Let me not even pull that up, man. That's crazy. Why the who the fuck? Yo, who? Yo.
He told her, "Be good and don't say a word." Sano was too scared to move, so
Okay,
Sato
don't
was able
blame
to
her.
pick her up and throw her into the trunk of the car easily. He drove for a
Oh
while.
god, what do you
until
do to
he
this
stopped on the
girl?
side of the road, where he got out and ran to the back of the car.
Yo, this
He
other
opened
time I
the
watched
trunk
another
and
case like
bounced
this about a girl being kidnapped, he ain't actually. I don't. From what I remember, I don't think he actually ever, did anything like that to the girl. Now this dude, bro,
hands with
yeah,
tape
God.
and covered her eyes as well. He once again closed the trunk and set off towards his house, arriving home at around 6:30 p.m. So that his mom wouldn't spot him hauling a 9-year-old into the house, he decided to enter the home through an entrance to the unfinished addition to the house. Then he went back around to the front door by himself and entered the home as normal, as if nothing was out of the ordinary. He went up to Sano, locked up in the old nursery, and removed her blindfold. He told her, "You don't want to end up killed like all those other kidnapped girls, do you? You're never going to leave this room. You're going to live in here forever.
I think I'd rather have you kill me if I'm being honest.
I'll bury you in the mountains or send you floating away in the ocean."
Don't threaten me with a good time, buddy. I do not want to be in the same room
Confinement
with you.
would continue for years
What?
and years and years.
Yo, you just said I'm never gonna leave this room, and you already tried to another girl, and you telling me that if I don't listen to you, you're gonna kill motherfucker. Is that? Am I supposed to be scared right now? Dear God, holy shit! Why is this shit lagging? Why is my shit moving like this? I'm supposed to be scared? I don't think so, buckaroo. Okay, let me close all these other tabs I got open right now. You know, close that too. Oh, you know what? Close that too. You know what? Close that too. Why? What? Damn, why is my shit bugging right now? Ah, fuck it. Let's just
When
record this.
Sano didn't come home that night, her mother went to a police substation and begged them to search for her.
Makes sense.
A search party formed of police officers and volunteers from the school, getting as large as 200 people, and they set out to search for any clues as to her whereabouts. They searched everywhere, from vacant homes to shipping containers, even using helicopters to search for the girl. Over 20,000 missing posters were drafted up and passed
Damn,
around,
20,000?
but no clues were ever found.
Damn.
Continued to threaten Sano repeatedly.
See my
during
live
her
stream just then?
confinement. He would often swing his knife around her, injuring her dozens of times in the process. In the beginning, he would bind her up so tightly that she couldn't move whenever he went to bed for the night. Her legs were bound tightly together for over a year straight.
Jeez, oh my, what?
Bind her up so tightly that she couldn't move whenever he went to bed for the night. Her legs were bound tightly together for over a year
Yo.
straight. To make it even more difficult for her to escape, Sato kept the layout of the home a secret to her. Whenever he would leave the room, he would either blindfold her or tie her up and throw her under a blanket on the bed. After about a year or two, Sato got more violent in his torture of Sano. He started using a stun gun to deal out his sick punishments, threatening to stab her if she let out her voice while being shocked. She often had to bite down on a blanket to refrain from screaming as she got stunned.
Jesus.
He would also attempt pro wrestling moves on her as well. again
Sorry.
punishing her if she let her voice
Is that
slip.
Batista? Who the fuck
It's
was that?
believed that he hit her lightly during the duration of her
Jesus,
captivity
okay.
over 700 times,
Okay.
and that he hit her with considerable strength around 300 times.
Jesus.
She would get hit in the eyes so hard that she would lose her sight from time to time. Eventually, she started using
my
the stun
God.
gun on herself, hoping to be able to get used to the sensation so that it wouldn't bother her anymore.
Wow,
She
that is
developed a
sad.
dissociative
Damn.
disorder as a defense mechanism, meaning she began feeling that another person was the one being hit, not her, allowing her to kind of distance herself from
Oh,
the pain
wow.
inside her mind. Sano was initially, obviously, terrified, but this fear soon waned as she began to give up and accept her fate. Sato would bring clothes to her for her to wear, usually his own, and initially fed her 3 times a day. It was either food that he brought by himself or food that was cooked by his mother, who was still living on the first floor. For some reason, Sato began fearing that Sano might be developing diabetes because of a bruise on her leg, likely caused by him. He decided that she was getting too much sugar and began limiting her meals to once a day. She went
Jesus.
from weighing 46 kilograms to 38 kilograms and began...
Got on. Oh my Joe, she weighed 82 pounds. Damn. Well, that's not really bad if depends how old she was. But by this point she's what, 11? Yes. No. West. Oh, never mind. That's really bad. Holy shit! They're saying this should at least be 50. Okay, I just said a 12-year-old is said most people ask. Let me just pull this up. It's supposed to be 51 kilos. Jesus. Never mind, forget what I said. Actually, that's horrible. Oh my god. Okay, bad pauses.
began feeling very faint most of the time.
Oh my god. Yo, she
Usually
weighed
spending
80 pounds? God damn, man.
most of her time lying down.
I'm
Eventually,
not
her
surprised.
legs withered to the point of being unable to walk around on her own anymore.
Jeez, how the fuck did she get out of this? Did she get caught? He must have gotten caught. Yo, you're telling me the mom never caught this dude in these 10 fucking years? She just never went in his room, huh?
In her legs, but Sato wouldn't allow this, as that might end up with her exposing herself to his mother. There was no toilet on the second floor. of the
Wait,
home,
hold on.
and
Say that again.
in her legs, but Sato wouldn't allow lying down. Eventually, her legs withered to the point of being unable to walk around on her own anymore. She needed to build strength in her legs, but Sato wouldn't allow this, as that might end up with her exposing herself to his mother. There was no toilet on the second floor of the home, and Sato, obsessing over cleanliness in an odd way, didn't use the toilet, instead using plastic bags, which he
Ew,
would then
that's
seal
disgusting.
and put out into the hallway. He was embarrassed of this, so he forbid Sano to see the hallway, blindfolding her if it were ever necessary to go out there. One day, after being severely weakened, Sano fell out of bed, injuring her already weakened body. Nevertheless, she was forced to crawl down the stairs and into the shower herself while still blindfolded. The mother of Sato consulted the public health center in January 1996 because Sato had been acting strangely and had become very violent towards her. However, nothing was really done about it. Sato's mother, despite living downstairs, is reported to have had absolutely no contact with Sano whatsoever over the years. Sato would get very violent
Holy
if she ever attempted to go upstairs, leading to her never even trying to go up there. Many
enough, I
people,
guess, but
however,
damn.
including the police, speculate that she must have had some knowledge that another person was up there.
I don't
It's
blame him for
alleged
that,
that
but
she
I'm thinking
bought
either.
feminine hygiene products for Sato, for example. Sato would cut Sano's hair by himself, often into short, choppy cuts. There was no bath on the second floor of the home, so Sano was only allowed to bathe once in a while, with permission,
You guys
and
keep
while
doing
being
that. Come on,
watched
man.
by her captor. She lived a very boring life while not being directly harmed by Sato. She spent the bulk of her time listening to the radio and reading newspapers. Later on in her captivity, she was allowed to watch TV from time to time. Sato would also talk to her about topics that interested him, providing the most mild of entertainment. The door to the apartment was never locked. But despite this, Sano never attempted to even take one step outside in all of those years.
Can't even blame her. She's
First, it
probably
was because
terrified.
she was too scared, but
Yeah.
eventually it was because she
She's
lost
not even
all
strong
the
enough.
willpower
Yeah.
and energy to even try. Throughout her confinement, Sano had very little exposure to the outside world outside of TV and radio. She never developed mentally past her 9-year-old state.
Can't
It
seem
was later
surprised.
found that she had a very noticeably low intelligence level when compared to peers of her own age. Sato stated that he saw Sano as a friend throughout her captivity and claimed that he gave her everything she needed.
Friend? Gave her everything she needed?
By this point in her captivity, she started obeying my orders very well.
Oh, could
I
you
thought
fucking
that I'd
blame
like
her?
to live with her forever.
Oh, God. Why? I'll be better, bro.
On equal
I mean,
footing
Street
about
Sniper,
horse
fuck me.
races and cars. I genuinely did like her.
Really?
It felt like she was a girl my own age. She was
Okay, that's just weird to say.
partner to me,
Maybe
so
don't
I
use the
could
word
never
partner,
let
you
her go.
weirdo. See, you're just a
Sato
weirdo in
said.
general.
Sato's mother was so afraid of his violent outbursts that she tried to work as much as possible. When she was forced to retire at 65, she began killing time outside the house as much as possible to avoid going home. By 1999, Sato began using the stun gun on his mother as well.
Oh, God. What the mom do, bruh? Fuck. I mean, what the girl did too, but your own mother? Jesus.
Punching her and kicking her.
Jesus, your own
tying her
mother?
up as well, only releasing
Yo.
her to let her go to the bathroom, according to the mother.
Creating an inviting, inspiring room for your child is easy.
Yeah. Shut up.
Mental help for her son on January 12th of 2000.
See, now I missed the part because you know.
Tying her up as well,
Yo,
only
that's-
releasing her to let her go to the bathroom, according to the mother. The mother called to get mental help for her son on January 12th of 2000, and basically getting nothing out of it, she then tried calling again on January 19th,
Maybe call the police.
begging for an official to come visit the home.
Maybe
They
call
finally
police.
complied, and some healthcare officials finally did visit the home that Friday on the 28th. Healthcare workers approached Sato and told him that he was going to be taken in for a mental health evaluation. This resulted in an enormous violent outburst that did nothing but further prove their point. Subsequently, the police were called to the scene.
Yes.
It was during the commotion that everyone noticed a lump under a blanket moving around in his room. When removing the blanket, they were shocked to reveal a sickly pale, short-haired girl underneath. They asked her who she was. She simply told them, "I need to get my thoughts in order." They called Sato's mother into the room and asked who the hell this girl was. She responded, "I don't know. I've never seen her before."
Yeah, that's
They then
crazy.
informed the girl that Sato was likely going to be going away for a long time and asked what she wanted to do, likely thinking that she could have possibly been his girlfriend. Sano looked toward the mother and asked, "Is it okay if I stay here?" The
Huh?
officials urged her to call her own home. She responded, "My home might not be around anymore." The mother asked where her home was. Sano responded, "Maybe here." Sano was then taken to
Jesus.
the hospital.
Yo. She's been gone for so long that she doesn't even know what's going on. Like, her own mind doesn't even know what's going on. Like, yo.
As Sato was taken away to a mental facility and his mother was taken to a separate hospital.
Man, take his ass to the
They
prison.
urged her to
Fuck out her.
please give them her identity, saying that they could work to find her family if they were still out there. She finally complied. The police were shocked to find that she had been the young girl that went missing almost a decade prior. Sano told the officials, "I was abducted near the school by a man who forced me into a car. For 9 years, I did not take a step out of the house.
Jesus.
Today, I went out for the first time." Upon her medical examination after being rescued, Sano was found to be relatively healthy given the circumstances.
Really?
Although she was notably very weak and skinny due to the lack of food and exercise. She could barely walk, her leg muscles had atrophied so badly. She was also fairly dehydrated as well. Due to a complete lack of exposure to sunlight, she was extremely pale and suffering from jaundice.
That.
While she had the body of an
Hold
emaciated
on.
19-year-old, she was mentally on par with a child.
Jesus Christ. What did he say? John. Okay, I just said there was
When
some more
she
like
died, she was extremely pale and suffering from jaundice.
jaundice. How do you spell that? Jaundice. It's when your skin or the whites of your eyes turn yellow. Holy shit.
While she had the body of an emaciated 19-year-old, she was mentally on par with a child. Understandably, she also had a pretty severe case of PTSD.
Makes sense.
Soon after, the police were finally able to get in contact with Sano's mother. She was finally reunited with her family after almost 10 years.
Jesus Christ,
Her own
10
mother didn't
years.
even recognize her at first, given that she
Can't say I'm
hadn't seen her
surprised.
since she was 9
10
years
years,
old.
man. Damn.
Nobuyuki Sato, now 37 years old,
Fucking
was
loser.
hospitalized that very day, being deemed mentally unstable. Within a month, his status was formally changed from suspect to criminal, and he was finally arrested on February 11th of 2000. Sato's mother was heavily criticized around the time of his arrest.
Good.
Given
I'm
that
sorry.
the
I
Junko
don't know if she
Furuta
didn't.
case from
Nah,
1989
maybe I
was
don't
still
know,
at
but
this
damn.
time fresh on the minds of the populace,
Oh,
people
God, I
couldn't
think I've
help
seen
but
this
make
one.
connections.
I think I
In
watched
both
somebody react to that.
cases, a young girl was held captive on the second floor of a home while the parents lived on the first floor. In the Junko Furuta case, the parents knew very well that a girl was being held upstairs and chose to do nothing. Could that have been the same in this case? People were eager to find the answer to that question. The mother defended herself, saying, "I didn't know of the captivity, and I haven't set foot on the second floor for years." To be fair, absolutely none of the mother's fingerprints were found on the second floor.
Oh, wow.
Sano herself confirmed that she knew of the mother's existence, but that was about it. The mother was left as merely a witness in the case. After Sano was rescued, the police in Japan started facing some heavy criticism, mainly given that
I'm not
Sato had
surprised.
already attempted to
You know,
kill.
maybe, cause he almost, an elementary school girl, and and the cops let him go after 1 year. They gave the motherfucker probation, maybe that's why. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't give a fuck if he's mentally ill. He tried a girl. Not only that, a little girl. Now, even if it wasn't a little girl, it's still bad, but that's gotta be like 10 times worse. Now, they're both really fucking bad, but like, what are we doing? No, hold on now, not we. Not we, I don't give a fuck if he mentally ill. He gave him the whole book.
Kidnap another young girl in the same fashion, and he was simply let go. And oddly enough, his name had disappeared from their internal list of criminals, so he was never even considered a suspect in Sano's disappearance in the first place.
Fucking dumbasses.
Despite fitting the bill pretty perfectly and
clinkers.
being in that very area. When Sano was rescued, the Niigata Prefectural Police Chief, a man named Koji Kobayashi, didn't even show up to the police station to check up on the investigation. Instead, he spent his night playing mahjong with the head of the Regional Police Bureau. After
What?
word of this got out, along with a slew of errors made by the police in the coming weeks, Kobayashi formally resigned from his position on February 26th.
Nah, you don't get
The head
the
of
chance to
Regional
resign.
Police
You
Bureau
get
also
fired.
ended up resigning a few
You
days
get
later
fucked.
on the 29th.
How does it
The
feel,
media
huh?
began publishing pictures of Sano and her family, which was deemed as a human rights violation by the police and heavily criticized. The
No, that's what you
anonymity of all
criticized?
involved
Nothing
in
more.
this
That is
case was
fucked up,
quickly
but
lost as this
that's when
case
you decided to
became
criticize
a storm.
everything?
One side would often argue that Sano never tried to escape and that something was fishy. The other side argued that she was convinced that she would be killed if she tried to escape, so naturally she wouldn't
Yeah,
try.
that first I can go fuck
It's
themselves.
pretty sick that this was an argument.
Yeah,
in the first
I'm not
place.
gonna lie. That first I can go
Sato's
fuck
trial began
themselves.
a few months
As soon
later
as you
on
got
May
kidnapped in
23rd,
GTA.
2000. The prosecutors walked on eggshells throughout the case, trying not to damage Sano's already fragile mental health throughout the proceedings. Sato claimed insanity, after which some
No.
psychiatrists held some tests to determine if that was truly the
My
case.
God, wreck them tests and
They
make him
found
go to
that
prison.
He was at least mentally fit to face his charges, and he himself ended up admitting to them.
Grammarly is an AI writing partner that works.
You know what? Shut up, Grammarly. You know what? Don't shut up, Grammarly. But I use Grammarly though.
Sato was facing 10 years in prison, the maximum penalty for abduction.
10. What? No. Man, give him the chair. Give him the chair. Give him 50 years. Give him 100 years. Fuck.
Ironically,
Death penalty.
not really any longer than he had held Sano captive. Prosecutors, along with virtually everyone else, felt that this sentencing was pretty light given the circumstances.
Yo.
To boost the sentence a little bit, they started adding every minor charge they could think of.
Good.
This even included charges for one time that Sato had shoplifted some women's underwear. Really
What?
just anything to get that year total up. Sato, now 40, was finally found guilty. He was sentenced to 14 years in
Yo, you
prison
got
due to a
14
combination
years.
of charges including
Wow.
abduction,
That is
confinement,
insane.
and theft. His defense soon appealed on January 24th in 2002, and the trial ended up moving up to the Tokyo High Court. Unfortunately, on December 10th, the High Court actually decided to reduce Sato's sentence down to 11 years. They said that the ruling by the district court was technically done wrong. It ruled that his charges should be dealt with individually, not lumped together. So he would serve the maximum 10 years for the abduction charge and 1 additional year for the theft charges. Sato was then sent off to Chiba prison, which is, not surprisingly, in the Chiba prefecture.
11 years.
Sano's father ended up breaking his silence and releasing a statement after the High Court ruling, saying that no matter what they decided upon, there was only anger and regret left for their family.
Yeah.
Nothing was
but
going to change that their family
11
was deprived of
years.
happiness and a regular home life.
Jesus.
There was no way to regain that 9 years, 2 months, and 15 days of my daughter's life
really
during
isn't,
which she could
man.
not feel any joy, happiness, pain, or sadness as one normally would, he said.
Yo, 11 years. I'm
Fortunately,
sorry.
he
I
was
can't get
able
over
to
that,
add
bro.
his daughter
What?
had gradually come to live a peaceful, relatively normal life, and that she would often spend her days watching soccer matches or taking photos of flowers in the
soccer?
garden with
Is
a
that-
digital camera.
Hold on.
She was
Is that rugby?
a peaceful,
Motherfucker just show
relatively
rugby as
normal
soccer?
life, and that she would often spend her days watching soccer matches or
Yeah, buddy. I think pretty sure this is rugby. Yeah, I think this is rugby, but you know what?
taking
What do I know,
photos of
right?
flowers in the garden with a digital
Not the point.
camera.
Sorry.
She was also able to get her driver's license and attend her coming-of-age ceremony when she turned 20. Although more than 3 years had passed since she had been saved by that point, she was still receiving counseling from a team of medical doctors appointed by the prefecture.
Yo, what
between
now though? Like, she's 18. She hasn't even finished elementary school. Hasn't even finished middle school. Hasn't even finished high school, college. Like, by the time she's does all that, like, she's gonna be grown as hell. Like, how does that work now? Like, her whole life is kind of ruined if we're being honest. I mean, it already was, but
2 to 4 times a month. In 2003, during Sato's prison stay, his mother passed away in an old folks' home. The same as his father,
rest in
likely in
peace.
shame.
For sure, rest in peace to the father,
In the
though.
coming years after she was released, Sano dealt with more hardship as her father drowned in a pond right
Oh,
in front
wow.
of her eyes as the
Oh,
two
wow.
went swimming for fun. Naturally,
Jesus
she was
Christ.
devastated, but at least for a time, the two were able to reunite.
Jesus, you just... Things just keep
Mostly
getting
due
worse
to
and
the
worse,
outrage
man.
Surrounding this case, the punishment for criminal confinement was increased from 10 years to 15 years. In April of 2015, Sato was eventually released from prison. He chose not to go back to Niigata and instead chose to remain in Chiba, where his prison was. He lived alone in a small apartment and mainly lived off of welfare for the disabled. 2 years later, in 2017, it was noticed that
This dude gets a welfare check every single month. Yo, I don't give, like I said before, I don't give a fuck if he's disabled. This dude tried to a girl and then he kidnapped a girl. And apparently he failed once before that. And this dude went to jail for that. Went to jail for thief as well. And he gets a welfare check every single fucking month. Every single 30 days. Well, maybe 31, but you know what I mean. He gets to get up and not have to do shit because his bitch ass gets a welfare check?
Sato failed to show up to work one day. Police went out to his place and he was found dead. all alone in his tiny apartment in Chiba City.
Get a
He was
knee.
in his mid-50s at the time. An autopsy was performed, but the cause of his death wasn't found. Fusako Sano attempted
So,
to
does that
return
mean-
to a normal life. Her physical health improved greatly,
Maybe he
and she was
didn't.
finally able to move around normally.
Himself.
She helps out in her family's rice paddy out in the countryside. Due to her stunted social development, she has a hard time socializing. She doesn't have many friends and often spends her time alone.
Man, I wish you the
But
best,
she
man.
keeps busy with her
Honest.
photography hobby and her love of soccer and attends games pretty often.
Love
Her
that for her.
family continues to refuse to comment on the ordeal.
I love that for them as well, man. It's none of our business.
Once again, thank you for watching my video.
You know what, man? Thank
this
you.
is definitely one of the darker ones.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
You know
being
what, man?
related to the Junko Furuta case, yeah, that's gonna happen. If you found it interesting, please leave a like. It helps it to get seen by other people, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. If you want to support the channel even further and see videos early and uncensored, I do have a Patreon account, which I keep linked in the description below.
She's
Speaking of
44
which, shout
years
out to
old
my
now,
top
man.
patrons. So
I'm hoping
we've
she's
got
having a great life, man.
Balls, Rick Torres, Far
So I say, I can just say balls, but yeah. Man, I wish you the best. You know what, man? Now I'm happy. I'm hoping she has the time of her life right now, man. Yeah, you're not lying. Fuck that bald fuck. Jesus Christ, why is it always in... Let me not say Japan, but why am I damn all these Asian countries, man? God damn! W video, man. W Fusako Sano. I tried. Like I said, I hope she's having the best time of her life right now, man. Really do. That bald fuck can go fuck himself. I wish he had the worst death in the world in GTA, but she probably didn't, though, which sucks. Nah, let me